morning. Today is July 17th, 2025, and I just get out of the ocean at Trunk River in Falmouth, and hey there. And this is Vineyard Sound. That's Martha's Vineyard across the way there. If you can see it. Martha's Vineyard. And that's Nobska Point, where my mother's ashes are scattered 15 years ago. So this is where I was headed a year ago when I got word that I needed to have this operation. And talk about disappointment. But I finally made it here about a week ago, and I've been laying low since. And I figured this is as good a time as any to mark the moment. It just feels so good to be able to be here, and I've been just soaking up this beach for the past week and a half or so. And I made it to the Rainbow Gathering in Missouri, which is a really sweet time for the 4th of July, and got to see a lot of folks and hug a lot of folks. That was wonderful. And I also got to fly off of Aspen Mountain, and that was certainly the high point. You can go back and see some of the videos that I shot and were shot of me that day. That was an amazing day because I actually started the day flying off of a mountain next to Glenwood Springs, and then I heard from the other pilots that they were having a sunset flight off Aspen Mountain that day. So I contacted my friend Kat Rios, who was organizing that, and we made it happen. It was easily the highest point of my trip. The mountain is over 11,000 feet, and we launched at about 10,500 feet, and the landing I think is around 8,000 feet. So, and I stayed up for a little over 40 minutes at sunset. So it's pretty friggin' epic. But it also, one of the main things I've learned from flying these mountain sites over the past couple of weeks is how much I have to learn. And so it's like a whole nother level of flying. Flying where you're looking for thermals to stay up, and you're looking for the invisible to stay up. So yeah, it was that and flying Marshall Peak, 2 hours east of Venice Beach. The launch was at 3,700 feet, and the landing was at 1,700 feet, and I stayed up for about 50 minutes that time. That was wonderful. But in Boulder, I had an accident. I ran off the launch, and there was no lift, and I crashed into some rocks and banged up my foot and my thigh, and everything. Was almost killed, but not killed. The bruising is all gone from the leg, and I broke my glasses my fancy smart glasses, and lost one of the lenses. So I was able to get a hold of the optometrist to kind of tweak my prescription a little bit, which I kind of needed to do. So those lenses are on the way, but the frames are busted. So there won't be as much functionality, and they're kind of pricey, and I can't really afford to get another pair. So we'll make do. I just want to say how good it is to be fucking alive today. And in such a beautiful place, and healthy enough to appreciate it and enjoy it. Yeah. So the other day I opened up my glider and untangled it from the mess it was when I stuffed it back on in Boulder, and I got to kite over in Falmouth, and that was just taking it out and getting underneath it and feeling the wind was, I don't know, it's just something as simple as that just made me feel wonderful, and just thinking about it makes me feel wonderful. And someday I'm going to fly here, either with a paramotor or some kind of, you see this? Seagull just landed on top of this guy's Sprinter van. Anyway, all I got right now is just good vibes for being alive. It's wonderful to be able to fly again. Tremendously life affirming, in part because when you're doing it, you have to be present. You have to be completely present. There's no way to be checked out in any way. And when you come close to death through, the medical stuff, you get an appreciation for when you're not suffering. And I know that the world is going through a whole lot of shit right now, and that shit has to be fertilizer for new beginnings. I have to see it that way. And I'm just glad to see this part of it. It's funny that when you have personal challenges that bring you so present that you can't always focus on what the rest of the world is focusing on, and some of the things that people are tripping on, you just have no energy for it. That said, it's, for me anyway, it's what I've been through. It's made me just tremendously sensitive to energy and people's energies and stuff. So I've been trying to keep to myself a lot. And the flip side of that checking out of the world thing is that when I do check into the world, I feel like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling people's pain and suffering, like what's going on in LA, and just the unfairness of it all. What's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Palestine. And you know, no one's suffering is unfelt. We all have the capacity for compassion and to sense what's wrong in the world. And I can't not feel that stuff. It's just... So anyway, I'm going to be here for a while. I'm supposed to have... They scheduled me for an oncology appointment next week in LA, and I'm like, I've been calling them to let them know that I'll see you in November. The reality is that if the cancer comes back, there's no treatment. So all these oncology appointments are doing now is to make sure, all they can do is tell if it comes back. But the way they measure these things is in 5-year increments. And the good news is it's been a year since they took out the lesion. It was an inch cube, if you can imagine. And they took it out along with 19 lymph nodes. And it's been a year without cancer, hopefully. And so 1 down and 4 more to go. So, yippee! So thanks for watching. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for giving a hoot. And thank you again to everyone that's ever donated to my GoFundMes and my the online ways of getting money and resources to me. It has certainly made this journey a lot easier than it would have been without your support. A year ago when I had to have the engine rebuilt, I couldn't have done that without the donations from the GoFundMe. And most of those donations, the majority of it went to the van and or me eating really good food during the worst of it. So that's about it for now. Once again, I just want to say thank you and
Pie in the sky.
give thanks for being alive.